What I want to do is I want to introduce you to our first guest, who happens to be an expert in the area of independently operated trim tabs. Let's take a little walk in order to hook up with them. Hello, Fair.
Hey, John, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thanks for stopping by.
Thank you.
Let me real quick introduce you to everybody. This is Fair Himes, and Fair is with the leading manufacturer of adjustable trim tabs. I'm talking about Bennett Marine. And Fair, let's start off with takeoff, because my problem on the Mako, prior to me having any type of a trim tab on it, is whenever I tried to get up on plane, I rode nose high pretty severely. I mean, I could, hardly see over the tow rail. It was kind of dangerous, and I needed something to add some stern lift to get the bow down. I had gas-assisted tabs on the boat, and what happens is they kind of acted like springs. When you're traveling in the water and water pressure is hitting them, it would kind of raise those springs up, and then when you would stop, it would keep them kind of locked down in the down position, and you saw the problem with that backing up.
If you have your tabs down, always down, it's going to put considerable pressure on those tabs.
But how do independently operated trim tabs, how do these things work?
Well, that's one of the basics, John. That's probably one of the most common applications for trim tabs, and that is to get out of the hole, over that hill of water, and up on plane. Well, let's put our trim tabs down, John. You depress the helm control. Put them both down, John.
Sure.
Go ahead. Let's put them both down all the way.
You see how these are tabbing down.
Right.
These planes are moving down.
Well, what's happening here is you're forcing water down. Now, there are three things that affect the lifting power of trim tabs. One is the angle of deflection. Number two is the surface area. How big are the trim tabs? And number three is how fast is the boat going? Those three things are all contributing to the amount of lift on that trim tab and pushing the stern of the boat up, bringing the bow down.
So now what we're doing here with these independently operated trim tabs is we're altering a fixed hull. We're changing its shape.
Absolutely.
So we can kind of change with the conditions around us that are constantly changing.
Absolutely. If you've ever noticed when an airplane is coming into land, he puts his flaps down. He's changing the shape of that wing to provide more lift. When you're going at slower speeds, let's say that we were out cruising and you want to back off your throttle. Normally, what would happen when you back off your throttle?
You come off a plane.
Right. Put your tabs down, you can stay on plane, use less fuel.
How much less fuel could we expect to burn?
Well, it all depends on the motor and the conditions. We've run some tests and get as much as 30% more fuel economy by being able to back off a full throttle and still maintain cruising speed.
All right. Now, they're independently operated. And one of the real benefits of having a set of tabs like this on the boat is weight and how you load the boat.
Right.
Hypothetically, let's say a bunch of big guys are on the starboard side of the boat.
Right.
Our ice chest is on the starboard side of the boat. What are we doing as we're traveling down the water?
You're going to start listing. As
Okay.
a matter of fact, depending on the V of your boat and how big the boat is and how many people are with you, you could be listing considerably.
Okay, so if we're listing or if we're leaning over to the right side of the boat or over on the starboard side of the boat, how do we correct it with independently operated trim tabs?
Well, let's start by retracting the tabs, okay? We bring these tabs up. Now, let's just put, if you've got weight on this side of the boat, why don't you switch there?
Okay.
Let's put your starboard tab down. Well, what's going to happen is creating lift on this side of the boat, we'll lean the boat up to the right running attitude again.
And if the weight were all on the port side of the boat,
Just reverse it.
we would go ahead and we put down our port tab.
Right.
That is so cool. Well,
Absolutely.
Fair, thank you so much. I want you to stick around because I want to go out on the water once our tabs are installed, and I want you to show us a couple more techniques.